You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, I've got your weekly spoilers for July 7th through the 11th. We are going to see Bill Spencer blamed as Luna fires her gun, and one person is going to die next week on B&B. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. We're going to talk about who lives, who dies. Please click that subscribe button if you're not following us. Let's get right into it. On Monday, July 7th, it's season 38, episode 202 of B&B. So Finn is talking to his adoptive mother, Li, the one he considers his actual mother, and they are talking about his daughter, Luna, her granddaughter, and Finn is surprised by how Li reacts to something about Luna. I'm interested to see what side she comes down on. Now, Li is the one that took down Luna before when she was in her green and black leathers and was trying to kill Steffy. I do wonder if Li is going to say something like she does think that Luna might have turned out to be a more decent person. Obviously, if Finn had been in her life instead of her being dragged around by, Poppy and her druggy hippie habits. So over in Malibu on Monday, the showdown continues with Luna completely unhinged. Sheila is trying to stop her from hurting Steffy. Sheila wants Luna to put down that gun and just go quietly, leave LA, start a new life somewhere else. I mean, obviously Sheila knows the police are looking for her, but whatever she has to say to get Luna to stop what she's doing, she's going to try. And a bullet rings out on Monday. So what's interesting about this shooting thing is this was actually intended to be a cliffhanger Friday episode, but because like a week and a half ago, we had that one episode preemption for news coverage, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, that's pushed everything out. So, they edit several weeks ahead. So this was supposed to be a cliffhanger Friday, and no, instead it is over on Monday. So Luna's terrible scheme gets someone shot. It looks like that Sheila and Luna are struggling over the gun, and the bullet rings out. So Sheila or Luna. Now, I've seen a spoiler picture I can't show you for copyright reasons, but Luna is got this look on her face. It could be pain. It could be horror. I mean, she might have shot grandma or vice versa. I almost tend to think that Sheila might get shot first because there's going to be more than one shooting, by the way. Let's talk about that. Tuesday, July 8th, 2025, season 38, episode 203. So Steffy is in disbelief as Luna reveals something, and Steffy's horrified to see what Luna does next. So it could be that Luna reveals, oh my gosh, I've shot my grandma Sheila. So 3 people are shot this week. So my money is on Sheila, Luna, and then, obviously there's one other. Could be Steffy, could be that poor art teacher, or someone else may show up to the art school trying to save Steffy because they realize that that's where Luna's gone to and Steffy's at risk, because Taylor knows that there is danger because of what Sheila came and told her, even though Taylor was skeptical. So, it could even be Liam. We've talked about that he might die trying to save Steffy since he's dying already. Although last we saw Liam, he was all the way over at Forrester Creations talking to Hope and Ridge. But given that Liam's under a death watch, he is a good one to save Steffy because he's on his deathbed anyway. On Wednesday, July 9th, it's episode 204 of season 38. So we've got 3 doctors over at the hospital. We've got Li Finnegan, we have got Grace Buckingham, and we have got Bridget Forster. Each of them is heading into a separate surgery, each treating a gunshot victim. Now, the very fact that they got out of that art school and at the hospital, to me, says that Luna is definitely one of the 3 that shot. So what's interesting about this is if Steffy shot, Bridget shouldn't be allowed to do surgery on her. and neither should Li. So if Steffi's shot, it should be Grace operating on her because she's family to the other two. Now, if Luna is shot, Grace or Bridget could do the surgery because she's no relation, but Li Finnegan should not be doing a surgery on Luna, especially since we know how bloodthirsty Li is. When she thinks someone needs to go, I don't think she would try real hard to save Luna. If the teacher's shot as the third, any of the doctors could do it. And if it is Sheila, who's one of the three that shot, technically none of those people are family. Anyone could operate on her, but Li Finnegan is the last person that Sheila Carter would want doing surgery on her. Because remember when she was having that coronary and she was dying in the emergency room and Li was just standing there watching it happen, and then Finn came in and actually saved her life because his mom wasn't using the paddles or even trying. So since Finn is not doing any of the surgeries, I tend to think that it could be Steffi and Luna, as two of them because he's related to both of them. Now, again, there's a chance somebody else rushes over there and gets himself shot. Maybe it's Liam, and, we'll see. Thursday, July 10th, episode 205 of the current season. So all three of the surgeries are done by Thursday, and somebody doesn't make it through. So who is going to die? I mean, honestly, Lisa Yamada as Luna Nozawa is the best choice because Lisa has a new series that she has left to film, so she's leaving anyway. But Scott Clifton's character Liam is supposedly dying. They were just talking about with Hope about him getting a miracle 11th hour cure, but I feel like the disposable teacher might die or Luna. I mean, they're the two most obvious candidates for death. It's hard to imagine that Finn's daughter is redeemable in any way, so she's my top guess as to who dies. So also on Thursday, people start to realize something about Liam. So, maybe he's been shot. Maybe he went over there and intervened. I don't think the timing's going to work out, but if he's over at the hospital after the shooting and he's in really bad shape and just the stress of what's happened, especially if Steffi is injured, he may collapse and have to get checked out by the doctors. Taylor, Hope, Carter, and Steffi, and of course the doctors know. Li Finnegan doesn't know. Bill doesn't know. Ridge doesn't know yet. So it's going to be very interesting. Friday, July 11th, season 38, episode 206. So a lot of people are angry at Bill, and he doesn't blame them, but he just wants to see Liam. So I don't think people would be blaming Bill for Luna dying. That's no biggie. But if Steffi is shot, that's when people are going to blame Bill in particular. Now, if Sheila's shot, again, I don't think people will care. That's why I think there's a chance that Steffi might, not shot seriously, maybe a bullet in the arm, something that requires minor surgery. We'll see. So Bill may be up at the hospital to check on the whole situation and see Liam, whether he was shot, whether he collapsed. This should be the moment that Bill finds out his son is dying. So we'll see. They could have Steffi shot and it's a minor thing and they've got her on bed rest to help cover up that big old baby bump because Jackie Wood is due any second now with son number 5. And again, I feel like Luna is the best choice for who's to die, but we will know very soon.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.